So I've got a couple of half chickens here. I hung them in the 42-inch offset. I've done that before with chickens, works great. Just ran a hot fire about 375 degrees and they are beautiful. So this is going to be dinner tonight, but let's show you the process we went through. So thanks for joining at Buckeye Barbecue. Do me a favor and like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And let's go back and see how we did these. Okay, let's get our chicken prepped. Gonna spend the day dry brining in the fridge. Ideally it'd be overnight, 12 hours or more. It's not gonna quite be that long in this case. But we just got your standard supermarket chicken here, nothing special. We're gonna cut the backbone out of it. A lot of times I like to spatchcock these, but we're not gonna spatchcock today. I'll show you what we're gonna do. I haven't quite decided. I know I'm going to, well, I shouldn't even say that. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to cook this, so it'll be a surprise to both of us. I like to use these garden pruners, and of course I just use them on food, but they work pretty well for cutting the backbone out of a chicken. Sometimes there's some skin that it won't quite go through, but it nails the bones very nicely. Sometimes I wish they were a little bit longer, but they work well. So we're just going to go up this backbone and get this cut out, and we'll fast forward through this and go to the next step. Okay, so there's our backbone. Don't get rid of this. I'm actually going to do a video on bone broth. I've been getting so into bone broth. So we're going to use that in the bone broth video, and I've got another chicken carcass, a 5-buck cluck, but I won't go deep into that right now. But we're going to use this chicken carcass too, so we're going to keep that backbone. All right, now we're sort of going to act like we're going to spatchcock it. So I'm just going to turn this over, give the breast a push down, listen for that crack. Okay, but what we're going to do is I've got a big heavy cleaver, and we're going to go right down the center. And just cut this chicken in half. Right through that breastbone, rib cage. There we go. So we got 2 half chickens here. So I tell you what, I'm going to get these ready. I'll show you what we're going to do next. So we'll bring you back with these couple of chickens on a couple of racks, and we'll get them ready. So see you in a minute. All right, so here's our 2 half-yard birds. Look good. I already patted them dry with a paper towel, so they're pretty dry, and the refrigerator will help with that. We're just going to do a real simple seasoning. Killer Hogs AP seasoning, so salt, pepper, garlic essentially. I was going to do a barbecue rub, but I decided I may cook these pretty high heat when we cook them later. And I wanted to be careful not to have any sugar in the rub because of that. Don't want it to burn. So we're just going to use salt, pepper, garlic, leave our options open for later. So I'm just going to turn these over and get the underside, the inside of the chicken, get them nice and coated in this AP seasoning. You can certainly just use your own salt, pepper, garlic. This is convenient. Smells really good. I do like this seasoning. All right, get that pressed in a little bit, and now we'll turn this over. Here we go. And now we'll get that skin side. Get the armpit here, the underside of that wing. Here we go. Same on this other one. And there we go. So these are going to go into the fridge. That salt in this AP seasoning is going to start working on these, drawing that moisture out, and therefore making it more juicy in the cook. Okay, so these are going to go in the fridge. We're probably about 8 to 10 hours from cooking these, so not as long as I'd like to go, but life gets in the way of plans sometimes, so you do what you got to do. And we will bring you back for this chicken cook, and we'll decide between now and then how we're actually going to cook these. So see you in a few hours. Okay, I am gonna cook these half chickens on the LoneStar Grillz offset, I've decided. So I've got a pile of just lump charcoal. I think it's royal oak charcoal, a couple of tumbleweeds buried in it, and I've got some parchment paper down below that I'm gonna light, and I'm gonna use oak for my wood. I've got I don't know, plenty of oak for this cook anyway, at least 20 splits, something like that, small splits, so we're going to use that. So we're just going to get this parchment lit a couple of places here. There we go. All right, that'll take. We'll let that charcoal get lit and get a nice bed of coals. Throw a couple of splits on there and bring it up to temperature. So this is going to be a hotter and faster cook. I want to get that chicken skin a little bit crispy, so we're going to shoot for between 350 and 400. I'll just move the camera here. I always like to leave the door, the lid of the smoker open while it comes up to temperature, and just get that fire going well. So I'll get the camera moved, we'll get our chicken out, we'll let this smoker come up to temp, and then we'll get going. So I'll bring you back. All right, we're getting our chickens hung, our half chickens hung. I've already got one in there, and I did decide to hang these, obviously. And I've got a hook here. I'm going to do the other one. Just find a good spot, and that's simple. You don't want the chicken to slip off, so I'm just going to ease it in there, get it hung. I do have a metal drip pan below there, just to catch any drippings for easy cleanup more than anything else. Fire's burning good. Before I had the lid open, we were approaching 300 and it was continuing on up. So I'm going to get this lid closed, and we're just going to let these go. I probably won't even check them for 45 minutes or so. So we'll bring you back. All right, I checked the temperature on these about 10 or 15 minutes ago, and we were about 7 degrees off. I'm going to call these done, I'm sure, but let's take a look. Ooh, look pretty. Let me zoom in a little. A little hard to see. Sorry for the shaky camera, but color looks great. So I'm going to get these off, and we'll bring you back and show you inside. So I'll see you in just a few. Okay, so let's get this chicken carved up. I got a kid that's got to go to practice, and we need to feed him. So I'm going to take these hooks out hopefully without burning myself. I thought about dipping these in barbecue sauce, but I just decided not to. So the way I like to carve the chicken up is the thigh will essentially just remove itself. I don't know if I'm getting in the camera or not here, but it's super simple. By the way, the skin crisped up very well. and it tastes great. The wing gets a little jakey when you try to remove it, but it's still okay. That looks really good too. And then for the breast, I like to cut the meat off in sort of a big chunk and then slice it crossways. It allows you to cut the breast against the grain and make it just a little more tender. By the way, I took these up to 160 degrees and then let them rest for about 15 minutes, and that'll get them to a good safe temperature. If you let that breast come all the way up to 165, it'll settle in at 170, 172, and that just won't be good chicken in my opinion. So here's that thigh again, thigh and leg. That one's being a little more difficult, but beautiful. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. It's a nice looking wing cut there. And then we'll cut the breast off. Do the same thing essentially as the other one. Now I'm going to save these bones because I'm going to do a bone broth. I've been getting very into bone broth of late. And I've got a carcass of a 5-buck cluck that's in the freezer. And then we'll use these bones and I'll do a video on it. Not really a barbecue thing, but I've been doing a lot of it lately and I love it. So come back for that video. But here we go. I'm going to try another piece. I'll try this breast piece here. Really good. All right, that's going to do it here. Got to get dinner going. So we'll see you next time at Buckeye Barbecue. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry if some of that last part got out of the camera. I'm bad for that. And we will see you next time. Like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it.